Hi everyone, okay, so today I'm going to be refurbing this air respirator. So this is something that I use in all my videos. So we're going to start off here with stripping it, right? So I'm going to set the camera up. So this air respirator is now discontinued. I purchased it in, I think it was around 2018, so around 2 years before COVID struck. So my plan is today to strip the air respirator. I'm going to remove everything here and then I'm going to start polishing it. So the reason I'm going to polish it here is because I have left quite a number of gouges and scores in it. So the first thing I'm going to do here is remove this part. The second thing is this battery pack. Tomorrow I'm going to upgrade this battery pack itself. So at the minute, I think the batteries is NiCad. I'm going to replacing them with NiMH or NiMH. So the capacity of the battery pack will be trebled. Well, 3.5 times bigger than it is at the minute. So at the minute it's 1400 milliamp hour. I will be increasing it to 5000 milliamp hour. So that will come tomorrow. So the next step is stripping the motor, the filter housing, or this device here. I'm going to keep this filter safe because these are now discontinued. All the parts for this air respirator are now discontinued, and so is the actual helmet part itself. All these gadgets, the battery, everything can't be purchased. So tomorrow I will be upgrading this, increasing its capacity. As I say, I purchased this air respirator in 2018, so I have been using it for around 8 years. So it's done a lot of work. But I have done it up before. So I'm going to start off here sanding this actual part of the helmet. Going to remove the visor. I have spare parts for the visor, or for the helmet. I have 5 new visors. They're really expensive now because well, let's say if one comes available, people put the price sky high because of that. So these peel-offs is protecting the visor. About a week ago I polished this to remove any scores on it. Even though I have new ones, I want to try and sort of not waste it. So rather than sticking a new one, what I done a week ago is I polished the inside and outside to remove any fine marks on it. So I'll put the camera on the stand here and I'll strip the rest of this. So some have been asking where I got this air respirator from. So it was purchased before COVID. So when COVID struck, everything went mad. The prices of masks and air respirators. So when I purchased this, it was £500. It's a lab air respirator. After that, well, during COVID around 2020, the prices went mad. They went up to £2,000, and then the actual helmet, the air respirator unit, was discontinued. So we're going to strip the rest of this here. So I'll remove the visor here first. So the way I look at it is, if I look after this, it'll look after me. So this is the visor. So these visors now are very hard got. They're usually just copies. So this is a genuine Honeywell. So as I say, a week ago I took this out, put it on a flat bench. See that top of that washing machine? I put it on that and I polished it inside and outside to remove any fine marks. So I'm going to do that again. I'm not going to put a new one on. As I say, I have 5 new ones sitting there, but I'm not going to be using them because they're very hard to get now. You can just get copies, and even at that, the copies are probably alright, but I just want to keep the genuine parts within the air respirator. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to sand any wee fine marks out of it with 1500 grit sandpaper, and then I'm going to polish it with the rotary and a dual action. So the next part to remove is this cassette. So what do we see here if I can get the wee Velcro part? So this is probably the third time I've done this up. When I say done it up, I have completely sanded it and polished it. Once upon a time, it actually fell off a table and cracked here, but as you can see, it's repaired, and it still looks good to this day. I haven't dropped it since. So, believe it or not, nothing really can be got like this mask now. This air respirator with the battery up at the top behind your head. Usually, and of this quality. So there we go. So we're removing this cassette now. There we go. So that's those parts. Tomorrow I will be upgrading this battery pack. So I'll be increasing the capacity, the size of the battery pack, so that the actual air respirator runs longer than what it did. So when I initially got this air respirator, it ran for 6 hours continuous, a wee bit over, maybe 8 hours. But when I increase the capacity, the size of the battery pack here tomorrow, the mask will run 3.5 times longer. So roughly around 22 hours. So the cells that are in there at the minute are NiCad, and I will be replacing them to NiMH solid C cells. So the next part I'm going to strip here is this headband. Being careful here because, as I say, some of these parts, well, you do get some things popping up now and again, but when the mask was, or the helmet was being discontinued, I bought a lot of parts because I seen them. I seen what was happening during COVID, and luckily I bought enough filters, and filters can't be got now for this air respirator. I don't know why they stopped making them, because it is incredible, this thing, for protecting the lungs and your eyes and your face. So that's it, everyone. What I'm going to do here now is start polishing this. I'm going to leave that bit of leather like that, and I'll take this bit of foam out and I'll give it a wee squeeze with fair liquid water. So the next step here now is starting to polish this. So I'm going to raise the camera up a wee bit here. I'm going to sand it first. So there's someone meant to be landing here in maybe an hour's time, so I'll try and get everything done. If they appear, I just have to maybe end the live stream, but hopefully I'll be running for another maybe an hour, 1 hour here. So I don't need this because I've got 100 new genuine ones. They're cheaper than the visors. I've actually got 5 new ones of these. This one can be washed, but I will stick a new one on for this refurbishment. So I could stick this back on, but I need to put it in the wash machine. So this cassette, this bit goes around your chin. I've got 5 of these too. These actually still can be purchased because there's some people selling them on eBay. The filters, if I could put it in my pocket here, these can't be got no more. So I have to look after it. I've got 5 of them. So let's go. This can't be got and this can't be got. So tomorrow I will be upgrading this. The batteries, they have done me now 8 years. So the battery technology won't be the same. It'll be completely different. Okay. So guys, start here now in 2 seconds. Just getting all this stuff out of the way. I need a bit of sandpaper. Here we go. So you know what I'll demonstrate first? I'll demonstrate the visor. Some people probably wonder what I'm on about polishing it. So here we have the visor that I removed, right? Make sure the bench first is clean. So these are quite expensive when they were, because it's a Honeywell brand, you know, you're buying quality. So this type can't be got no more, but you do get copies. So I'm going to start off polishing this. So as I say, 2 weeks ago, I already started this because it was getting quite scratched, even with the protective coating on it. That's shot over here somewhere. There it is there. So this peel off goes onto the front of it, right? So let's get started here. So I'm going to start off with a rotary and then finish with a dual action. This one. Lock a G3 compound. Not too much. And plenty of water to keep me from burning it. Okay, so hopefully the view's good there. So as I say, this air respirator, it's one of my most, really love this piece of equipment. So I have to look after it. So here we go. So this will leave swirl marks within this perspex, this polycarbonate, but the dual axle will remove the swirl marks, okay? But this will remove the scratches. Believe it or not, even with the peel-offs in front of it, it still gets scratched. How grip goes on there and stuff. So I'm just demonstrating doing this a wee bit, and then I'm going to move on to the helmet itself. So that's where the work begins. So this boy here. So I use this air respirator when I'm polishing stainless, grinding stainless, anything like that. So I never cut stainless without wearing this mask, or this helmet, this air respirator. I never cut it, I never grind it, I never polish it without wearing this, and I wouldn't wear an ordinary mask. So that there is this more or less looking new, right? So as I say, I done this one about 2 weeks ago when I started to get scratched. So you can see there, if you look down there, you can see a wee mark where it goes in and rubs the mask. So 2 seconds there, I'm just going to do something here in the house. Okay, I'm back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start on this. So if you look here, you can see the Honeywell brand, the logo. So this is probably the 3rd time I've done this. So if you look here, you can see it's scratched here and there. So some will say it's an air respirator, why are you doing that for? But as I say, it's discontinued now, so I want to look after it. So when I'm polishing here, I'm going to try and knock over the Honeywell because the G3 cutting liquid will remove the logo, okay? So the visor's more or less done. I had it with a dual action first. Okay. So a wee bit of this cutting compound again. So that's what will remove the swirl marks. So the other side now. Wee bit of cutting compound for this side too. Okay, there we go. So it's looking pristine. So what I'm going to get my words out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to the helmet here, the helmet part. So I'm going to set this on the grass. Hold on. I also need to do this, but as I say, I've got 5 new ones. This has still got a lot of life in it yet. As you can see, there's no holes in it. But anyway, what I'll do for this video, I'm going to move straight on to the main part here. So, I could get my car mop, the Milwaukee mop, to polish this, because we don't want this spinning too hard because it would only burn the plastic, okay? So what I might do here for this demonstration is turn this down low. Make sure it's not going too hard. That should be alright there, right? So my first step now is sanding the helmet part. So where do I get the sandpaper? Don't know where it went. I thought it was in my pocket. It's a filter. Need to look after it. So the bit of sandpaper has blown away in the wind. Oh, there it is in there. So I'm going to put this in the house. Alright, right, I'm back. So, what I want to do now is basically sand out any wee fine scores. So I'm 6 foot tall, so if you can imagine, this bit's approximately another 4 inches off the top of my head. So when I walk into doors or anything, I end up marking here. So there's lots of scores taken out of this in the past. So the G3 compound will remove this dirt. So I'm not going to stand over the top of the Honeywell logo, but I will go up beside it. So this is 1500 grit. Just looking at that camera, it's a wee bit too close, isn't it? How do I see if I get this set up a wee bit better here? That's alright there. Yeah. So those who watch my videos will have seen me wear this lots of times. So there's where I dropped it before, and there's where I repaired it. Still alright, but so as you can see, there's not really no scratches in it, because I think the last time I done this up was about a year ago. Well, I didn't do up the battery pack. I didn't do this up, but I will be doing this up tomorrow. So I'll be upgrading the cells. Treble, well, three and a half times the capacity. So currently this sits at 1400 milliamp hour. I will be increasing it to 5000 milliamp hour tomorrow with NIMH cells, not NiCad. I can also polish this too. I'm going to take this off and clean it now, remove that yellow stain in the rubber there. So that's the switch to turn the helmet on, the air respirator. So if you look here, you have the wee motorized unit. What this bit does is just straightens the filter out, which is internal inside this helmet, this enclosure. Okay, but the problem is the batteries have degraded. The cells, they have been used for 8 years, I think it is, maybe 9. So along this part now, so I could probably go to 1000 grit, you know. Or I could go to the dual action. No, that's the rotary, what am I doing? So what I'm doing here is removing any wee fine scores. You can probably see one here. What I might do here is cut that, because it's in the way. It's in the way, it'll cut the hand off you too. So there's your blunt. here we go again. So see that our scratch is completely gone now. So the reason it's scratched at the bottom is because if you can imagine when I have this on, I have it on like this, and I'm going down and I'm hitting the workpiece. So I'm not going to put the flat sander on this part, I'm just going to use the sandpaper. But it looks good there now anyway. A couple of wee scratches at the back here. So 1500 grit, nothing too coarse because you don't need any gouges and you'd leave the helmet looking worse. So I'm nearly ready for the polishing stage here. So these air respirators are now discontinued, can't be got no more since COVID struck. I don't know why, but Honeywell stopped making them. And all the parts. So they left me in a bit of a situation, so I had to buy out a lot of components and parts. Well, parts. Consumables, filters and stuff. So see here, it looks a bit yellow compared to the rest of the mask because I haven't sanded it around here. I'm not going to. I don't want to remove the Honeywell logo. So I am using water here. So see this little sort of, what would you call it, groove? I'm just holding the edge of the sandpaper down nice and tight into it. So there's actually like wee bits, I don't know if it's filings, might be filings, that's sort of stuck in there. So you can see there's something buried within the ABS plastic or whatever it is. So to get that out you just have to rub more, or maybe go down to 1000 grit, but I'm not going to be doing that. So trying to do wee circular motion here, circular motions. So again, into this groove, this indent even. So I doubled up there on the sandpaper. So see how well that's working there. The polisher will get this anyway, but just to make sure there's no filings or anything stuck in there. So that's it. Along here now, you can see, looks a bit yellow and there's a bit, there's not so much filings in there, but so this here looks like a filing at this point. So I'm going to move on to the dual action now, or the rotary first. Okay, so I'll bring this down a bit closer because I want the actual helmet sitting on the bench here. So starting off with the rotary. When I say rotary, the 2-inch rotary, not the car mop. This boy. So it's important here that I have the speed of this tool down low. We don't want it too high because it'll start melting the plastic and it only build up and I would have to sand it again. So we don't want that to happen. So it's also important here to use loads of water. Keep it cool. So I'm going to use a new sponge here. And a wee bit of G3. Done, so it is. Well, anyway. So the dual action won't be used till the end, right? So if you have any questions, let me know. So tomorrow, part 2 will follow where I upgrade the battery pack. So I will be replacing the cells within it. These can't be purchased. Nothing can be purchased for this helmet now really, this air respirator. You can get these, just some sellers have them maybe lying in the shop, but they put the price way up. So 5 of these is £150. Luckily I bought them 4 or 5 years ago because I seen the prices were going up. The same goes for the filters, but I try and look after the filters. I've only got 5. So here we go, on to the interesting part. We don't want this going too hard. Did I leave the camera laggard? So there's scratch there. Don't look at the broken bit. The broken bit was repaired last time I refurbed the helmet part here. So I was planning to shape a bit of stainless over this to strengthen it. If you look here, you can see a fine crack. It didn't break completely, the crack ended here, but luckily I got it in time with 2-pack super glue. An activator was on it, so it's really good super glue I used. So that's looking much better now. So if you look down here, you can see it's still looking yellow. So the polisher will get that now. So the helmet now is quite flat, there's no shine on it. But what this here does now, it polishes, brings it back up. But I just need to be careful here, I have to hold on to it. So look already. So making sure that we get the edge of the new sponge down into this little sort of groove or indent. Making sure not to burn it. That's easily done with a rotary mop. It's actually way easier to burn this than it would be to burn lacquer. So see the Honeywell logo? The Honeywell logo, I don't want to run the polishing head over it completely. It's sort of just beside it. So see, and there's a yellow stain. Let's get it removed with sandpaper. So it's like detailing a car. What I'm doing here is my air respirator. So the price of these new were £500. Then they went sky high, and then they became discontinued. 2020. I tried to buy more of them around COVID time. So I do have other air respirators, but this one here is well, that's the king. The other ones are for the compressor. They're no good because you have an old hose going down to your waist. So if you went to buy anything like this today, the one that you will be buying will have a battery pack on your waist with the filters on your waist. This has everything built within the head here where my right hand is. So that's the good thing about it. And it's light too. It's actually used in a laboratory. That's what they were designed for. And that's why I'm looking after it. So you can probably tell the difference here already. So tomorrow I will be upgrading the battery pack to 5000 milliamp hour. So it'll be 3.5 times bigger, using more modern cells. So I just need to be careful here with it when it goes out the door. It's loud. I could also demonstrate polishing this battery pack. So it doesn't matter if water gets in this because it will be struck tomorrow. G3 is unreal. So hopefully you can see that. I'll turn the camera around a bit. So the cells within this pack are sub-C, 1.2 volts. There's 3 of them. And the ones that's currently in it are NiCad. I will be upgrading them to NiAmp or NiMH. So the cells that I have purchased are actually for airplane, remote control airplane, so they're high capacity, high energy. So I've just done a wee sample here of cleaning that. But see the way it's all scratched at the bottom, because when I go to charge this, I set it on the bench. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this. I'll give it another wee run. See if these scratches come out without sanding it. I don't want to sand the battery pack because there's a wee texture to it. I might have to, but yeah, I'm gonna have to, right. Let's do that now, sure. Looks to be a wee texture, but it's kind of flat. So make sure to use a bit of water here. The dual action. So already you can see a difference there. So making sure to keep the 2-inch sander flat to which surface I'm sanding. So this is actually sloped. So all them scratches are disappearing. Okay, so go on this side now. Dual action, bit of water. So don't forget to subscribe and like to see more interesting projects on my channel. So if you look here, see if you look here where my thumb is, the top of my nail is, you can see a scratch, right? So what I'll do is I'll just bring the sander up on a wee slope and gently rock over the curve, right? Like so. Rocking the battery pack. So that's it more or less gone. The side doesn't need done because it's not scratched, okay? So, that's now ready for polishing again. What I will do is I'll probably go back over it in the live stream ends, because it'll probably take me an hour alone to do this. Up to the standard I want it, like. Because as you know, I'm really fussy. So tomorrow this will be stripped in part 2. Look at that now, it looks like new. You see? What's my phone? More G3 required. So see, if I wasn't using water here, this would end up being burnt. So you're basically seeing like a yellow tinge of plastic going to the right hand side of this polisher wheel. But luckily I'm not stupid enough to hold this on and not to be using water. Very easy burnt. Repeat it. So a wee bit more water, a wee bit more G3, and I'll move back to the helmet, right? So any polish going on between this gap, it will be cleaned tomorrow, because as I say, I will be stripping it to do it up. This has done me now 8 years. Well, let me count here, so it's nearly 26, so 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 years. I've had this 3 years before COVID. So that's it, everyone. I'm going to move back to the helmet here now, right? Make sure I don't drop it on the ground, because if I break this, I end up needing to 3D print a new one. And I don't want to do that. I have a few mini projects on. So it nearly looks like new again. So the top now. A wee bit of G3 for the top. It doesn't matter about getting water in here, because as I say, I will be drying it out once this live stream stops. Drying it out for tomorrow. So I'm thinking about doing 2 projects tomorrow. Well, I will do the bike video, the battery, to start off the battery build, the e-bike. But also, I'm going to finish this. So look how well that G3 brings out the oil grime and dirt and blemishes within the pack. So I'm sure you can see the difference here since I started. So this is where your back of your head, this rests against the back of your head here at this point, behind this band. So it clips on here like this. Oh shit, oh, sorry, wrong way. So there we go. So now back to the helmet. I'm going to leave the battery aside, right? I'll set it there for a minute. So, back to this baby. So, a wee bit G3 again. Just going to do everything again. And a wee bit of water is important. Did I hit the phone? No. So I'm not going to go too hard here. I can speed this up, like so. What do we see? Keeping it down low, so we don't burn it. So see here, we have a little indent. I don't know if it's a bit of metal. No, it's an indent, but it's alright. I could sand it out, but I'm not going to bother. In my head, I'm happy with that. It's not scratched. So I'm going to give it a quick lick over the top of the Honeywell logo. Not putting too much grit on it because the more grit, the more aggressive it will be. So here we go. Keeping the water on it too. So in the groove there we have a bit of I don't know, residue, a bit of black. I don't know if it's just dirt. So I never use this helmet for painting. I just use it for grinding, polishing metals and stuff, mainly stainless. So I do try and look after the lungs and the eyes. But also it protects the face because see if you're polishing something with the bench grinder or the bench polisher, sometimes you could hold the metal in the wrong orientation towards the wheel of the polisher and it can jump up and sort of come towards the helmet. So it's a really good device or apparatus. Air respirator. So there's a bit of black. That'll come off of the G3. So that's all the scores out of that. I'm going to set this. This looks well now. For a quick look. So get the G3 on it now and give it a good polish. Lots of it. So water, I have that up too high. Water is important here. So the cassette clips onto here, the bit that goes around the neck. This bit. So what I'm going to do now, right, is I'm going to give it a quick look too with the polisher. So see the way it's all oil and grease. I don't know, it's just stained. The G3 will remove that. If there's any scratches in it, I will remove the scratches too. So here we go. So I have 5 new ones, but I'm just going to look after this one too when I can. Until this fabric goes done, okay? So this has been on the helmet now for about a year, or maybe a bit more. So I'm going to set this flat on the bench a minute. So you can see there it's all scratched, right? But I will, because it's on the edge, it'll be easy sanded out, okay? So just going nice wee circular motion. Working around the curve. I'm going to go right round here because more likely scratch there too. That's it. It's very easy to sand it, that stuff. It's like rubber. Or very soft plastic. So a wee bit of G3. This needs a wash with fair liquid and hot water, this blue fabric. So as you can expect, it's very hard to hold this and sand it at the same time. It's flimsy, you know. Without wrecking the fabric. So 5 of these, they do pop up on eBay now and again, are roughly around £150. Mental. The only time I will replace it is when this fabric goes done. But as you can see, there's still loads of life left in it yet. I think I have 4 left. That should do me a long time. I probably should buy more, but they're too dear. So I'm just removing a couple of more scratches there. But I'm sure you can tell the difference there now from when I started this part. It was quite dull and scratched. Very effective, that rotary polisher. And so is this compound. So it's looking like new, isn't it? So the direction in which I'm polishing is also important here. So because this is like an indent here now, I'm better getting the edge of the wheel under it. Hard to hold that. Hard to polish. So I'm nearly ready to go back to the helmet again, right? I'll just give it another wee run here. Without making a mess. So that looks good now, doesn't it? What I will do now is I'll just give it a wee quick look, and then I'll move back over to the helmet, as I say. So usually when I do something like this, I take more pride on it then, and I tend to look after. I'll tend to put this away rather than leaving it out and stuff. And be more careful of it. But sometimes you just don't have the time to do things like this because I'm so busy. That's it. A wee mark here. Okay. So what I need to do now is basically go on to maybe hold it below the shower head and a bit of, not hot water, but maybe warm water. So I see a wee hole there, look. But that does not matter. The pressure in the inside is pushing out all times when the wee motor's on. The air. So it's currently covered in polish, but it's still in good shape. So that's the reason I polished it. So see on here we have dirt too. What I could do there is use a big brush. What do we see if I can get on here? So on there we have dirt. I could do that when I'm washing it with very liquid. So that's grand now. So moving back to the helmet. So the battery pack, or the battery enclosure looks good, but I will do that more maybe tomorrow. Or after, well, I have to do it when before I build the pack. Before I upgrade it. So this is the motor housing, right? The wee pump. So this just needs a wash. This here is just to keep the filter out nice and straight on top of the helmet. So it clips in here. Like so. It clips into the top of the helmet like so. Really well designed, isn't it? So back over to the helmet here now. So we'll give it a good polish now. With the G3. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you are enjoying this video. A little video. So need to make sure I don't go too fast there. To hear the tone there, the speed change of the polisher. To see if I held it on there too long, it would just burden us. So I need to make sure to control the trigger here. I'm also going to clean these. Clean everything. See a wee bit of like grit stuck on this. Nearly gone there. So if I look after this, it'll look after me. That's the way I look at it. So the Honeywell now is not disappeared completely, but it's you know something, I don't really care if it does vanish. So there's a bit yellow in there, look. So I'm just using the sandpaper up on its edge. The Velcro back. Felt back. Because this polishing is done now, and it's not done, but the corner is it's not quite sharp anymore, so it won't get in. Unless I hold it, really yank it in. So it's important here when I'm polishing this that I don't, you know, hit the edge like this when it's turned clockwise, because the mask would jump out of my hand. So it's important that I polish off it, running off it, rather than coming this way. You see, if you look there, it's like a wee black mark. I don't think it's going to come out with the sandpaper. I'll see here. Yeah, it is. Back with the polisher again. So working off the edge this way rather than coming on this way with the sander, because it is only bounce. So it's not really being effective there rubbing the sandpaper over the top, so I'm going to use a dual action to remove that mark. So the sandpaper grit is 1500. Very fine. So the mark is more or less gone. Perfect. Back to the rotary polisher. wee mark here. You can see, well, you can't see because it's wet, but the shine will have come back up there when I finish polishing. So water is important, as I say. So all our yellow colours sort of disappeared now. The yellow is not because it's damaged with the sunlight, the UV light. It's just residue and out grime from polishing and stuff. So just going to do this chin part now. Hopefully the camera's up nice and high. I need to run the dual action over it too. So see here where the visor mounts, see it against, I could do that. Just need to be careful because those sponges destroy it. Couple of wee marks there, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'll see if I can get them out here. They're very, very minor. We'll get the yoke again. That's him. Back over to the rotary polisher. Looks good now. Looks really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is give it a look with the dual action. Not the sander, with the mop head. Just let me give it one final run here first. So it's looking like new. Focusing on the hard areas first. So I'm really digging in there because because it's kind of hard to get the polishing wheel on here. Mop. So the Honeywell logo is still there, but it's faint. There's some shine in it now. That's it dry. There are droplets there, look, but I'm just going to give the back a wee rub now. Give the back a wee rub. So I'm nearly there. Nearly there. So the next step now will be part 2 tomorrow, where I will be upgrading the battery pack. So the air respirator will be able to run, well, it used to run at 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, now it will run 23 to 25. So the oil cells were degraded in the pack, and it started only lasting maybe around 4 hours, 3 hours, but it was always running kind of sluggish and slow at the end up. Used to just sound much better. So the new cells will help a lot. So one charge will probably do 3 days. 3 days work. Easy, Jeffrey. So, see if you look on there, look, you might be able to see it a wee bit, wee tinge of darkness. It's alright. It's alright. We'll lash the D3 on at that point and give it a good rub, right? See if it helps. Now, what I'm talking about, it's very hard to see. You probably won't be able to see it. So, not running too hard, but digging it in. Keeping the edge of the sponge in the groove. For the indent part then. Just working around. Looks good now. So you wouldn't think it's 9 years old, would you? It's used a lot. So during COVID, the mask went from £500 to £2,000, and then they were discontinued. Or the air respirator, I should say. Okay, you know what I might do here? I might just completely remove the Honeywell logo. We'll see. I'm removing it. You know why? What's the point in it being there? Because it's faded. That's it gone, everyone. So the next time I go to polish the helmet part, I won't need to worry about it. I won't need to worry about it. Look at the shine in that now. So see the way I'm like sort of quick shifting over the surface? If I hold it here for half a second, it will just burn it. And the reason I know that is because it happened before. And I also know that because see how quick the shine appears on it? So work has been done to the surface here. Looks better than it did when it was new. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just touch the dual action on it here. What I mean, touch, a quick lick. Right, I might be careful here because my thumb's starting to open up again. Right. I'll give it a quick look then and I'll call an end to the live stream. Well, dual action won't burn it. So I'm just going to go and get a cloth here, a polishing cloth in the house, and I'm going to give it a wipe for the final part here. Okay, so here's the filter for anyone that wants to know. Let me see. So this is a dust particle filter, right? Usually what I do is blow it out and give it a wee quick wash. It's not an odor filter. I have them, but I don't use them. So they would be for a laboratory or something like that, or working with chemicals. So this slides on to the motor unit, right? I've got another, I think I've got 4 of these left. So usually I try and get as much out of this as possible. So that's why I'm keeping it safe. Right. So we'll give it a final wipe here. Look at that. It looks like new. So that's it, everyone. I will probably give it another run. I will give it another lick. But this is just a live stream to show bringing it up to this quality, this finish. So at the start of the live stream, it did not look like that. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to see interesting projects that I would be using this air respirator for. So the battery, this is also polished, sanded and polished. Tomorrow I will be upgrading this to 5000 milliamp hour. So currently it sits at 1400 milliamp hour. So it will be approximately, let me see, 3.5 times bigger. So it will run 3.5 times longer. So 6 times 3.5 will be around 23 or something like that. So 23 hours. This when it was new, ran for 68 hours. So maybe it might run for 25 or more with the new cells. So as I say, I hope you enjoyed the live stream and the demonstration of the refurbishment of the helmet. So here we have the visor. So I have 5 of these new, but I'm not putting a new one on it because there's nothing really wrong with that once you remove the fine marks. So I also have 100 so what do we call them? The ones you pull off, the ones that protect the main visor. There's one blowing about there in the ground somewhere. I don't know where it went to. But they clip on to these little button type things here. Usually I only put one on at a time. There it is there. So believe it or not, this was attached to this visor. This visor was a new one. And there were stall marks in this visor. I polished it 2 weeks ago. There's somebody there. Okay everyone, I'm going to have to end the live stream here, but thank you for watching. Don't forget to give it the thumbs up, and goodbye. Looks apart. Tomorrow I will be building this pack, upgrading it. I think they're just pulling in for a car. Maybe not. There they are. So that's it everyone, thank you for watching. A lot of work. I do torture myself, I know. But as I say, if I look after this, it will look after me. My lungs. So, goodbye everyone.